Why? Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to today's show. All right, to our listeners, we have our panelists here today. Ladies, you decide what order. Would you introduce yourselves, please?
We have Miss Jackson on coming from Atlanta, Georgia.
Who else do we have?
Hi, this is Nicole. Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy. And
Hey y'all, this is Savannah. Thank you for joining us today. We hope y'all enjoy the show. Make sure you leave your comments in the chat so that we can see what you're thinking and share.
All right, we're going to get started. Today, our topic, we're going to discuss men just wanting to see if they still got it, right? And I wanted to begin by understanding the motivation behind this. I wanted to hear how guys felt like, what motivates them and the need to test their appeal, like just seeing if they still got it. And we ended up segueing into a great topic. And I want to know, because we have the ladies here, I want to know, ladies, is there a female equivalent of still got it? And how do you all feel like when you're out in areas that I wouldn't say dominated by men, but you'll see a lot of men, like your kids' basketball games, being at the barbershop, things like that. Is that your equivalent to seeing if you still got it, or is that like just normal, not like you testing the water like guys do?
I'll go. I don't really, I'm trying to think of a time where I felt like I needed to test if I still had it. And I can't really think of a time because I can't go outside ever and it's not somebody trying to talk to me. So I don't think I ever had to like try to see if I still got it. Like I think it makes it very clear every time I walk out my door. Like, you know what I mean? So I really can't attest to the still got it portion. Cause I just think I've always thought that sometimes men are just, they don't have any, like, it's like I'm just gonna approach as many females and whatever female I see. I'm not gonna think I don't have a shot. I'm not gonna think, you know, she might say no. It don't even matter. It's just like let me just throw it out in the water and see what is gonna happen. And I've always thought that was strange.
10% rule. It's the 10% rule. You got at a young age, the cousins and this guy just breaking one of the man laws. But when you're young, it's like, hey man, if you try to holler at 10, you bound to get one. It sounds crazy, but to a young boy, it works.
That's crazy.
What you said, that's crazy. But think about it from a young man's perspective.
You're not even being particular. It's just like it's like a job. I don't know. Like if I apply for 10 jobs and get one interview, I can see that logic, right? Because it's probably going to be similar jobs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I want a job as a front desk clerk, I'm going to apply for 10 front desk clerks. I'm not going to go and apply to be a doctor when I really want to be a front desk clerk. I'm not going to go apply to be a firefighter when I'm trying to be a front desk clerk. But dudes, it's like they don't care. It's like I'm going to holler at the Queen of Sheba and the crackhead. It's like, what? There's no like rhyme or reason.
Well,
It's so
I want
weird.
to explain from a male's perspective, not all men, but from a male's perspective, is this. Ladies, you all possess unique qualities, right? And to three of you, you all possess unique qualities and characteristics. But guess what? To a stranger, we don't know any of those things. All we see is female. And in most cases, if she's an attractive woman, hey, we're going to try to holler. We'll figure the rest of it out later. And if we're compatible, we're compatible. If we're not, then we're not. So I get what you're saying. Like, wait a minute. She and I don't have anything in common. I don't even like her. And you just tried to talk to her last week, or you were just in her face earlier. But to us, it's like, look, there are women out here. I'm going to holler at a few, and it doesn't have to be 10. If I try to talk to 5, I'll get 1. So that's our logic and motivation. But it's interesting to hear how women feel about that. So what about the barbershop experience? I want to hear about that.
It's just horrible. You feel like a piece of meat walking in a barber shop. It's like throwing, like I said, throwing a pork chop in a pit bull cage. And you have to deal with that, especially if, you have a son. You have to just sit there and deal with the opposite of one man trying to holler at 10 women. Now you have like 8 men. It's like y'all go collect in the back and say who gonna try to talk to me. It shouldn't be at any point multiple men trying to holler at somebody. Like if you're outside construction workers working, you have 8 men whistling and yelling. It's like y'all do a powwow and decide respectfully who's gonna approach me and not all yell at me, especially when I'm with my child or something like that. Just very disrespectful.
The situation is not funny, but the way you described it is funny because, being a young kid, I've been on all ends. And even as a young adult in a barbershop, you know, guys would be looking through the window and we knew, or sometimes moms would call, hey, I'm about to bring my son by, and guys would, hey, such and such is on the way. She's coming. So it's a part of the barbershop culture. Not saying that you should accept being disrespected if that is how you feel. I just want you to understand, what motivates it. It's a part of the barbershop culture.
Yeah, I think it's a part of the men together culture. Like I said, it could be construction workers on the side of the road all together, or the power company, watermen. It's just something about a group of men thinking it's okay to all yell at one female.
So think about
Like,
the,
who am I giving my number back to? Who, if I decided, like, who am I talking to here?
and they really don't care. We're not thinking about that. And in a lot of instances, the guys don't even have to know each other. That's the beauty of like how men can interact and become homies and, instantly never met each other before. Like we could be at a Super Bowl party or just, like you said, at the barbershop, right? And an
Right.
attractive woman walks in. We are not going in the back and playing paper, rock, scissors to see who's going to holler.
And just like that, we see it different because you just said that's the beauty of it. And I see that's the nightmare of it. So we see it completely differently.
And that is why men are from Mars, right? We are. But I want you to delve a little bit into, do women, have you had experiences or like Tavana said she couldn't think of a time, and I don't want to impose something on anyone, especially on women. But what I was just thinking about is like if you went through a breakup or the birth of a child, postpartum, has there ever been a time where you felt the need to see if you still got it?
I have. I've definitely, after a breakup where I didn't feel my best, decided to, like when I was younger, get dressed up really nice and go sit somewhere just to get compliments. I needed something to, pick me up. And I've also had a friend, it was the same thing, just not getting any dates and wanted to get a boost of something, not really low self-esteem, but just needed a little boost. So signed up for a dating site just to see how many swipe rights she could get to make her feel like, okay, I still got a little bit. I can go out there and date. So women do it too.
So that's like men putting their gray sweats on and getting a fresh haircut.
That's right. We got the sundresses.
Nicole, we want to hear from you. Did you ever have any experience or a time that you can recall where you kind of wanted to see if you still got it?
No, I know I got it.
Okay.
I'm in my yard working. I got it.
Well,
Hey, Miss Parker.
Hey, that's me. That's what they call me on Vango, Miss Walker. But really, going back to Miss Jackson, after I got separated and divorced, well, I'm separated pretty much. Started getting my little sundresses out, my little tighter fit pants, you know. And I went to a shortcut. I changed up here like every week, every other week. Started just popping in, happy hour. Wasn't looking for nothing serious, just to see if I got it, Been in a relationship a long time. Let me see what what the lines is going for at this time. But it seems like the lines never change. So it was all it was all fun and games. And it's a good thing when you're coming out of something, like you say, a breakup. And I think, to be realistic, for women, that's probably a 98 percentile.
After they're going through a breakup, kind of.
After a breakup, that's when they really want to step out and see if they still got it.
Yeah, breakups can be traumatic.
Yeah.
I remember my first heartbreak and how I felt, but I had to dust myself off and get myself together because, I was in third grade. I had to get right before PE.
Oh Lord.
So I was fortunate to experience heartbreak at an early age. But I do understand though, like you said, after a separation or, getting out of a relationship, kind of seeing, hey, if I still got it,
What's going? What's the market out there looking like?
Right.
So what do women do? So what I'm hearing, I want to know if I'm getting this correct. So so for women, it's like, okay, I get a fresh cut. Let me put this sundress on. Might have undies, might not,
Oh yeah.
and and like you said, you're not looking for anything in particular. Just, hey,
Playing it by ear.
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Tavana and Nicole can relate, but like in my younger days, I kind of got comfortable in the relationship. So how you met me, I probably wasn't like that at the end. The bonnet, you go to sleep beautiful, full face beat at the beginning sometimes. And then after a while, that's when you be like, the wig is on the floor. I got the bonnet on. I'm comfortable. So when we say we are stepping back out, it's because we're getting back to what we was when you met us. Like I done got comfortable. So now I'm getting back. So what Nicole just said, oh, she's every day. I feel like that every day. So there's nothing for me to do tomorrow if I break up because every day I'm trying to step on the neck. I make sure I keep
Mm.
myself up for me now, not to say I'm letting myself get comfortable. I just like to look good all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And see, I'm the total opposite. I could care less. Like I'm not what you just described. I ain't doing that. Like you about to get this head wrap day one. Like I'm not ever going to bed without my scarf on. Like period. And I don't wear makeup stuff like that. So I've never done that. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't even like dressing up.
Like even my gym clothes, I go to the gym Monday through Friday. They match now. I have sets. I used to go to the gym any kind of way. I even care how I step into the gym to sweat.
Not me.
Yeah.
I'll throw on some leggings and a t-shirt and I'm in the gym. Like
See, then
I don't have a dance set.
I feel like I look good. I work out harder.
I always been a dresser. I love to dress. I don't, and I'm not, and I don't even dress to be looking for nothing. It's just, pretty much that's what's in the closet. At school, Sean, sixth grade, that go back from sixth grade from the low town.
Yeah.
It's just normal. Not to even be looking for nobody, but I can agree with the hair bonnet. My friend told me the other day, he's like, wow, you ain't a ponytail. I said, shit, what the hell is wrong with a ponytail? Before lipstick, I don't do makeup. I keep different lip gloss. I just started, my 28-year-old started me with the eyelash, which I'm in between because sometimes they get on my nerve. Um, but a little lip gloss and always a little eyeshadow. That's how I've been for a long time. But I used to go to bed like that. And then I'm saying to myself, this is some years in. Why am I still doing this? You know what
Mhm.
I can throw a little slang about, dang, you been in the field a day? Hey, see what you want to see.
So you have them spoiled, basically.
Right. And when I have my natural hair out, which, is thick, it's soft, it's curly. So I wrap it. That's pretty much the only time I wear hair. If I have weaving, I really don't go to bed with a scarf on if I have company. Now, if I don't have company, yeah, I put my bonnet on, to make my hairstyle last a little longer. But I just think it.
As soon as I walk in the door, like, oh,
Mhm.
But it's
Ladies,
an approach, for different people.
right? I have a quick question for you all. I really want to know the impact on a relationship. So how does this behavior affect you all, your trust, overall relationship, the health of the relationship? Do you have a problem with, and I guess a man would be described as quote unquote a flirt. Do you have a problem with dating a flirt?
I don't.
I
Because I'm a
don't.
flirt. I'm a
I
Sagittarius.
think so.
So
Yeah.
I flirt and don't even realize it. It happened to me last night, honestly. Like I had posted something on my story and a guy like replied to my story, and when you reply to somebody's story on Instagram or Facebook, it goes to the inbox, right?
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? And so it was a cutesy little picture from a while ago, and like he was like, "Put your tongue back in your mouth" or something he said, and I was like, I said something smart back, like you know what I'm saying? That definitely was probably kind of flirty, but I
Well, we want to know. Don't
okay.
tease
Yeah.
us with the comment. What's it?
Okay,
What exactly was
I
said?
want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it directly from it.
Okay.
It said, he said, "Put your back in your mouth," and I said, "Oh," I said, "or yours," but whatever, like that.
Oh.
And he said, "Make it happen. Where are you this weekend?" I was like, "Atlanta." Da 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 da. He started asking all these questions, and he said, "Are you there by yourself?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, send me some pictures." And then that's when I realized, oh hell, I'm flirting because
Yeah, you definitely invited your song to his mouth.
because my next message to him was the rolling eyes emoji, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Good night," like, cause I didn't even like, I unconsciously flirt, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then when I realized that they done said something back, cause I am unconsciously flirting, then I'm like, oh man, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't really want to flirt with you like that.
But you done told that man
Yeah.
I will
he's
put my tongue
envisioning
in your mouth.
your tongue in his mouth.
Yep.
And she like, why does he think I want to do something?
Right.
Exactly, because again, it was so quick for me. Because I'm looking at it not as flirting. I'm looking at it as like a quick whip back, like you know what I'm saying, a quick, you know what I'm
A
saying,
little
like
jazz, a little something, something.
yeah, like you said something snazzy, so I'm gonna say something snazzy, like you know what I'm saying. I ain't look at it as, you ever seen that emoji on social media that say, "I be flirting until they ask me something, now I gotta play dead," like
Yeah,
that.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. That man was like, stop the location. What are
That
you
is
doing?
totally me, because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that they was taking it like that. So I know I'm a natural flirt, and I don't have a problem with a man who flirts. That doesn't bother me, because at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer that people do what they want to do. I am not the girl that feels like I can control, or I have to, nah, none of that. You gonna do what you want to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do. So it's fine.
I like that. I
Hmm.
flirt all the time because I know I ain't bringing nobody home with me. So I love doing it. I got a bad habit. My guy friends, they be like, one thing that can use something else. I said, come by myself. I'm going to leave by myself. That's just what it is.
How do y'all feel about dating a flirt? Would you have a problem with that?
I would.
No.
No.
I wouldn't have a problem because, like you said, I flirt. I flirt on purpose and indirectly. Sometimes just being nice gets misconstrued as flirting. So I was going to ask you the question, Coach Sean, like Savannah's example. Like, I'm really friendly to everyone, so I can be at the bar most of the time. I'm by myself, and this
Hmm.
one time I thought I was going to get cursed out because I sat there. It maybe for a full hour. We sat, tripped, we bought drinks back and forth for about an hour, and then when it was time to wrap it up, he's like, "Let me call you sometime." I'm like, "I got a man." Like, I got a whole man I'm about to go home to, but this was fun. Like, and that was it. And he was like, well, basically like I wasted his time. And I thought I had a great time. We had great conversation. It could have been a chick. It just happened to be a guy. Like in
Right.
situations like that, as soon as he started talking, like, can I get you a drink? Well, before you get that drink, let me know I got a man. Like, so I want you to know. No, we just got into the conversations.
That's
I
part of
wouldn't.
unrealistic expectations.
Yeah,
Clearly, like you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
wouldn't think that way. But to be on the safe side, after knowing how some men think and feel,
Yeah.
I think it would be a good thing to put those disclaimers up.
And
Um,
then you praise me like I got a man. Like, okay, I got a whole wife too. I just want to see if you wanted to. So you don't want to feel like you like over like, oh yeah, I know you're trying to talk to me, and then he's not.
But what
But
I
we,
like, Miss Jackson, is that you bought. I mean, he didn't constantly buy. You bought for each other.
it was back and forth.
I'm having fun. You buy for me, I buy for you. So no, you couldn't think it was going somewhere because I'm not here sucking up off of you.
right. And that's something to think about. And everybody's different. And
Yeah.
a lot of people think that their way of thinking is or should be universal, and it's not. And I get the friendly thing. I'm friendly. I've never met a stranger. I talk to whoever. Heck, I drive around and talk to myself. I get that part, Tamika. And of course, I'm biased because I know you personally. So, and you are a friendly person, right? Like we have been innocent friends for 20 years, over 20 years.
Way more. Yeah.
Yeah, way over 20 years. And initially, I just thought that you were a nice person. And I think that what we talked about, you probably don't even remember, but one of the first things we ever talked about at work was the the freaking age statistics in the state of South Carolina and which counties had the highest HIV
It definitely
population.
was because I told you where I was from. You like, oh, Bamberg, number one, where I told you where I live.
Right. Do you remember? That was our
I
very
did.
first conversation from almost 25 years ago. So that let me know then, like, okay, this isn't a flirting conversation. And of course, I had a girlfriend at the time. We were just coworkers working third shift. And I'm like, look, I got to stay up. You know, this is someone that's cool. We both have some work to do. But in the meantime, we can chat or message one another. So I think that can kind of contributes as well, whatever you're deciding to talk about. If this is something friendly or, and I want to know,
Right,
ladies, what are
right.
some things
but I
that
think it's
yeah,
motive.
a man is trying to get with you? What are some things that you think he would be talking about if he's
But I
trying to
think
get with
it's motive though, Coach. I think it's
you?
motive.
Okay.
Like in Tamika's example,
Mm-hmm.
her motive and his motive were clearly totally different, right?
Mm.
And so you don't know another person's motive coming at the bar. Like you don't. You know what I'm saying? If you thinking you just at the bar, you chilling, if you know you're not looking to take somebody home or do something, I don't know that the what the guy's motive that sat
Right.
down next to me is. You see what I'm saying?
And I
So
didn't knock him for trying because that only made sense. Like I said, we had a great time, and I wouldn't know anyone that wouldn't want to duplicate that. Let's go out and do this again tomorrow. And I'm just like, well, hey, I know
yeah,
it stays here.
right.
And he's looking like, well, I guess maybe he could have talked to the girl behind him, and that was just a waste of time. And I'm like, like, excuse me, I'm
Right.
sorry.
And that's what I'm saying. It goes back to motive because clearly his motive was have fun at the bar, hee hee ha ha. Let me get your number and let's see what else. That wasn't your motive. You see what I'm saying? So I think, it's not really much you can do unless, you're somebody like me who I'm like, what do you want? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like my main question, like in the beat, like, hey, I don't even need to know your name. My first question is, what do you want? Like, cause let's just skip you know what I'm saying?
The small
Silliness.
talk.
Let me get to the motive right now. So, and then that way, nobody, like you said, nobody has to waste time. If we just get to the real motives up front before we even start doing all of that, having drinks and all that, what's your motive? And if the motives don't match, then you go on, you sit here and I sit here and we just shut up talking.
Well, I want to say this, and you made a great point. You all made really great points. But going back to what Tamika said, here's why men feel this way. I've been in situations where I've spoken to a woman, right? I'm going to use homecoming for example, Javonna. this past year's homecoming. I was just chilling with my homegirl, right? And like, hey, what's going on? And we were walking around, we were eating. So then I saw another young lady just speaking. Hey, how you been? She said, oh, I don't want anybody getting mad at me when I saw you talking to blah, blah, blah. Men, I can't speak for all men. Most of the men that I'm around, we care nothing about you being in another guy's face earlier or another guy being in your face earlier. It's actually a challenge to us, but I've noticed from personal experience that women don't want to be second, and they don't care what you and this other girl was talking about earlier. But if they saw you in another woman's face, it's like, go back over there, boo boo. So Tamika, that's why that guy, we only have one bullet. We have one round when we're out, and it has to be used effectively. So he felt like I wasted my one round on this girl all night
And his half a drinks.
and my half on all these drinks, and she was not interested in me. And he knows that at least for that night, he'd had no chance of speaking to another woman. And
Right.
so
Paying
how
me
did
out.
you all feel about that? Like when guys talk to another woman and then come and talk to you, how do you all feel about that?
He don't matter to me.
Me either. But I'm glad you said that because I never thought about it that way, So
Yes. You know, and
and I
that's
think
how,
it's about
and we've been
in
told
the
that.
spot
I mean, men have shared
from
that.
woman to woman.
Men have literally shared this in the barbershop. And Nikki, of course, we go back to elementary school age, right? And she knows I own a barbershop in a small town. And most guys between at that time, 17 to 40 came through, and these are the things that we would actually talk about. And they were like, man, you have to be real strategic. So we play shy brother. That is why men will often send a friend over to talk. Hey, my boy wants to holler at you, because we can't be seen talking to you and you're not interested, because the next woman cares nothing about that. Nah, weren't you just in her face, or weren't you just over there talking to blah, blah, blah? So now we're done for the night, right? So I can't waste my round. So I have to send somebody else over. And yes, so that is
But I don't want
why.
to popping. I don't need to. I know you
Mhm.
don't know me, but I do still want to kind of feel a little special. Now, if I look back and you're just literally bouncing from table to table, seeing what kind of number you can get, and then you make your way to me, no, I probably would not. Because you know how the saying, I don't do this often. Like, no, it looks like you do this quite a
All the
bit.
time. Yeah. Yeah. You've spoken to 7 girls already. And
Yeah.
we have a few callers. Welcome everyone. Welcome Liz, Dr. Anderson. We have a few people who have not added their screen names. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're talking about men seeing if they still got it, men flirting. But we want to know what it's rooted in. And want to welcome, we have another guy on the panel. Mr. Franklin, please say hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
We want to hear your male perspective. We want a little feedback, right? Why do some men feel the need to test their appeal, right? Like seeing if they still got it. Do you think it's rooted in insecurity, a societal norm, like this what we do, or just simply curiosity? How do you feel about it? And we want to know, have you in the past done some things to see if you still got it? And what do you think motivated that action?
That's addressed to Frank, addressed to me.
Yes.
Well, my thing has always been in my dating years is that there's only 3 categories a man wants to put a woman in anyway. She's going to be a girlfriend, something to do, serious relationship, as in female, as in fiance, a wife. Her conversation is going to how she views herself and how she falls for whatever little trap I have set up is where she's going to be categorized as. Now, if she's shooting just as much game, I heard a young lady said earlier, basically if she's shooting just as much game, and we want the same thing, then there's going to be no disagreements. But ladies don't. That's the biggest secret about a man. His character comes out the very first 5 minutes of your conversation. What he wants, he's already put it out there. For some apparent reason, you may be blinded on what the guy actually wants because you see something in him Women believe in building a man. Some women, 90% of them, they believe in building the man into what they want. And he'll concur until he gets what he wants. So my thing has always been, if you fall in one of them, I'm looking to see which category you fall into. Something to do, girlfriend, as serious as a fiance or wife. That's my take on that.
So have you ever been in a position where you wanted to like see if you still got it?
Very much so. Yes, yes.
Okay.
But
And what do you think motivated that? Was it just what people do in your community, like what the fellas do? Were you just curious? Were you like, and for the late listeners, the women shared that there have been times when they either gotten out of a relationship, you know, like something happened and they wanted to kind of test the water and not just to see if they still got it, but get a little uplifting, like feels good for these guys trying to flirt and buy drinks and trying to talk to them. But I want to know what motivated you, or do you think is it's a character trait? Would be described as a flirt?
probably will, but still got it has insecurity written all over it. You may have, it depends on where the guy's, where he's at in life, really, because aiming for something you can't get, even being in a relationship, you're not getting what you want out of a relationship. So now it brings on, do I still got it?
Hmm. Ladies,
I've definitely seen that be the situation.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think, and I think that again, to me, it's really about a lack of honesty, transparency, and communication, right? Because if you if you wake up one morning and feel the need to test to see if you still got it, then you also need to be trying to figure out what's going on with you and your partner that's
So true.
that's contributing to that feeling. You know what I'm saying?
So
So
true.
so and if you can't be honest about that with your partner and you just go out and to see if you quote unquote still got it and you do, now you ending up in something else and you cheating and you see what I'm saying? So to me it's a really weird space that I don't really particularly understand because most people, whether they in a relationship or not, you gonna have somebody trying to holler at you. Like a lot of women, like wedding rings are more of a magnet than anything else. So I don't really know any married man or married woman that's not still trying to get hollered at. Most people are not looking at your wedding ring and being like, "Ooh, I better not talk to them." Nah, then the main ones they going after to see, you know what I'm saying, if they can still bag them. So I don't know. It's just a kind of weird thing. I don't really get it.
Wow.
And I'm the one that always compares relationships and jobs, and I do it with my job. Sometimes I've been with the same company forever, same man, same company. When I say man, I mean my job. And sometimes it make me angry, and I'm like, let me update my resume right now to see what I still can do out there. And I'll go on 5 interviews knowing I'm not taking not one of these jobs. I just want to see if anybody else finds me appealing because my man, my job ain't treating me right now. Turning down everything. I just want to see so I can maybe come back, feeling a little better. You know,
Hey, can I speak? Can I say something?
yes.
That's why men are not men anymore. Women have fallen off so bad. They don't know they're the most precious, smartest thing God could have ever created is a woman. But when you take the attitude that sister just said is now, and she's not precise, she don't have any, uh, she has no chance of actually taking under these jobs. She just feeling them out. And just imagine a brother taking you out to dinner, and some men do feel put if I'm interested, I'm gonna put interest in you in some way, whether it be finance, whether it be a movie, dinner, whatever it is. But if a guy has been burned 2 or 3 times, you may get that guy who's been burnt, and now you're thinking out of him. So we make society how it is right now. It depends on the dating trail that person has experienced. Oh,
Your phone's breaking up.
does it close?
Your
Oh,
phone's
can you
breaking
hear
up.
me
I
now?
don't know if you're on a Wi-Fi or
Can
something, or you went too far away from something.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
It's just for me. It's just doors being closed. That's why a lot of relationships don't work. They say them doors are closed, but they're really not closed. Not getting off the subject, but seeing if you still got it. Self-esteem, self-esteem problems.
So I think it deals with insecurities. When a person wants to see if they still got it.
Yeah, most definitely.
And welcome. We have some
Most
other callers that have called in. And Unique, welcome. We have another male's perspective here. Today we're talking about men flirting, seeing if we still got it. Is that rooted in insecurities? Is it a societal conditioning, a pressure, or is it simply curiosity? We want to hear what you have to say about that, Unique. Have you ever been in a position, where you felt like you still got it? Go ahead, Tavana.
I said I can't wait to see what Terry say.
Oh man, hey, good evening, everybody. Just
good evening.
jumping
Good
on.
evening.
I'm just jumping on the call, so I think I might have missed a few up in there, missed a few points, but I'm pretty sure Coach Sean gonna remind me at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been in a situation. I was dating a older woman, and I don't know, for some reason she always seemed to be somewhat intimidated by me, and she always used to say, I would love to just be a fly on the wall, to see how you interact or correspond when you're meeting a woman. Well, at the time I was driving trucks over the road, and her and a friend of hers bought tickets for a concert. She said, you know what, I'm gonna buy you a ticket too. So she bought a seat for me that was close to them. I wasn't seated with them, I was kind of close to them, but we could talk, and of course she could see me with, strange women sitting on either side of me. But, they, one woman in particular that was seated next to me, she just kind of started talking to me, hitting on me a little bit. I'm flirting back, and I'm looking over at this older chick, and she's looking at me like, oh, really? Like, this is what you're going to do? Hey, this
After
is
we
what you
bought your
asked
ticket.
for. You bought the ticket. This is what you asked for. This is what you wanted to see. And it wasn't about me. It wasn't about me trying to see if I still had it. It just happened. But I mean, don't get me wrong now. We did not exchange phone numbers or anything after the concert. She initiated that. She wanted that, but I didn't do that. But as far as seeing if that's, if I still got it, nah, it just happens. It's not an insecurity. I think those insecurities left me a long time ago, Coach Sean. So we're not gonna talk about insecurities because we've been through that multiple times.
Right.
Ooh,
It's not a lot of things that men are insecure about. But as far as, I don't know, wanting
Not
to
many
see if they
people
still got it.
will admit to being insecure about.
You both make good points. You both make good points.
preach,
And I
preach.
also think that there's not a lot of things that men are insecure about, but the things y'all are insecure about are just huge. Like
Well,
things like a woman making more money.
I'm
Well, I don't care about that.
me personally, I'm not insecure about a woman making more
We make
money
more
than me.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more
We're
money, the
different.
more money she make, yeah, the more money
Yeah.
she make, hell, that's
That's for
better I
her.
am.
Right.
I don't feel so pressured. It
Yeah.
is what it is. But as
I
far
have
as
heard men
men,
say that, Jamaica. I have heard men say, you know, they feel like, oh, when a woman makes more, she feels X, Y, Z.
no,
Listen, yeah, I set boundaries
from day one,
from
right?
day one. So these are my expectations. These are the things I'm willing to do. Your income has nothing to do with
Nothing,
that.
zero.
If you work at the Dollar General or you work in the White House, um, the way we communicate in our relationship is based on who you are as a person. You know, you can be a millionaire, and we still might stop by Piggly Wiggly and grab some rice and turkey wings.
Some red
Um,
rice and turkey wings. Yup.
but men will have insecurities, and I know it's rare, but I dealt with them because I had a father there that I could talk to about certain things, right? And it's not like bad insecurities. And I shared this before, Terry. When I was younger, I was insecure about my physique.
Right.
And I use Terry as a reference because we go back to elementary school, and Terry and my cousin Ivan were like, they experienced puberty before the rest of us. So imagine a young kid, we're coming up in middle school, and my legs are smooth, no calf muscles. And Terry and Ivan, these jokers have broad shoulders, muscles, and hairy legs. And you go to PE class and girls are talking about their muscles and how hairy their legs are. So as a 12-year-old, that was an insecurity for me.
Right.
So I literally went home and did like 200 calf raises every night, trying to get my legs developed. Right.
Well, you put me on to something new, Coach Sean. I didn't know that was happening. But okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
But I think we mentioned that briefly in another episode, but not to that depth,
Not to that extent. Right.
to that
Go ahead.
extent. Because we
Right.
talked about, y'all boys being able to fight and stuff like that. But as a young kid,
Right.
so these are things that I spoke to my sons about that, hey, and I actually have a module that I talk to kids about in general, where we talk about
Mm-hmm.
experiencing puberty and the different ages. And for young men, some are between 12 and 18 years old. So some men don't grow facial hair until they're 18.
Right.
So there are things that you just have to deal with. Some things are within your control and some things you have no control over. And that was one of them. And my cousin Jerron and I, we talked about that growing up. So we would literally take our grandfather's razor because someone told us if you shaved, it would make the hair grow back faster. So we had our grandfather's razor in the bathroom, shaving our mustache that didn't exist, but we were shaving little peach fuzz, hoping to get some facial hair. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, people have insecurities, and I don't have an issue with sharing that. But like Tamika said, they may not have as many insecurities as women may, but it affects them greater. And I agree, Tavana. Some men may not admit to their insecurities, or some may not have even identified that something is an insecurity.
Right. Right.
Like,
Well,
why are you
that is,
doing all that? Like,
yeah.
why are you doing that? Because, okay, you're going to the gym, right? If it's about your health, you would be getting some cardio in. Why you feel the need to try to push 400 pounds every day?
Mm.
What are you trying to prove? What is that going to accomplish? You know? So people do have those insecurities. And like I said, I too have been in a situation where, I got out of a relationship and I kind of, just wanted to see. But for me wanting to see if I still got it, some men will go at the low hanging fruit, right? We'll go through our call log and spin the block. We'll talk to a girl who we know that we can get with just to say, hey, at least I can still get with somebody. I can still go out on a date. I can still do X, Y, Z. And Terry, we also talked about the impact of being a flirt. Can
What if she
you,
don't let you spin the block?
what if she doesn't?
Right, yeah. That
That's where
way.
the 10% rule coming at. Cause I'm going to holler at 10. I'll get one.
You
I'm
spend
going to
to the
holler at
next
10.
one, Cole. You
Yeah, I
spend to
got
the
one.
next one, right?
Exactly. Hey, I'm at least worth 10%. If you put me in a room with 10 women, I should be able to talk to one. I should get one number. And guess
Right.
what? Perfectly okay with just 1 out of 10.
And you're secure with that 1 out of 10.
Exactly. I'm secure with that 1 out of 10. And I was explaining that to the ladies earlier, but I said I can only speak for myself. But that's something that we shared with each other as men. Like, hey man,
Mm-hmm.
if I get one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you
Right.
have to be
But that
strategic in doing it, because once women see you talking to 5 other women,
other
Tamika
women,
said they
yeah,
shoot you down.
they shoot you down. Well,
Yeah,
nah, it's gonna be it's gonna be one of them in the crowd that saw you anyway, that wanted to give it to you anyway. It
right.
don't
She
matter.
doesn't care.
She
So,
doesn't care.
well, I want to know,
She's gonna
Terry.
be the one
And
to walk
she
up to you and
and,
shoot her shot.
and
Right.
she's happy that the other women rejected you.
Mm-hmm. I
She
want to
was
know
one
this,
of the later ones to have the conversation with you.
Terry and Franklin. How do you all
Look,
feel about dealing with a woman that's a flirt? Can you be in a relationship was a flirtatious woman?
Who want to go first? You want me to go first?
Do your thing. Do your
Franklin,
thing.
I want to hear.
Do your thing, brother Terry.
Me being in a relationship with the woman that's a flirt,
Yeah.
I can't do. Because I believe that she will give access of her to other men. Now, being in a relationship, now, if we're just talking or getting to know each other, and you can be on a flirt you want. But if I'm actually in a relationship with you, nah, I can't. I can't. And I give my example why I can't be in a relationship with her. But like I said, if we're just hanging out, we're kicking it, we're getting to know each other, yeah, we can do whatever. Because my means and my my mindset towards you is something different.
But what if you're getting to know her? Like,
I'm
and she's
yeah,
a flirt.
I'm getting to know her. She's a flirt. Yeah, we can talk. I can continue to get to know you. That
Okay.
doesn't change anything. I can continue to get to know you, but will I
But
ever
will it
be in a
stop you from
relationship?
being serious with her? Is
Yes,
like,
yes.
but what if she stops that when y'all decide to be in a relationship though?
Nah, I doubt
I
that.
was just wondering.
I doubt that. I doubt that. So, which is back to the same question, like, men, being out of the game for a minute or, and they want to see if they still got it. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to the woman as well. She stops being a flirt because she's saying that she's in a relationship with you. But then, what happens is she says she wants to know if she still got it. I'm pretty sure she finds that out every day. She's a beautiful woman, she dresses up, she goes out, whether she's going to work or, wherever she may be, go and hang out with her girlfriends, she stops to the grocery store, to the gas station. There is some man, somewhere that's going to hit on her.
But
I
Terry, you missed
promise you
that
that.
True, because
segment.
I've never heard a woman. I've never heard. I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I never really hear women say, "I want to see if I still got it," because it's just that
No, but
easy for
no,
us
no, no,
to
no,
walk
no, no,
out
no.
in public and know we still got it.
Verbally, a woman will never say, I want to know if I still got it. But women do always want to know that they are still pretty, they are still beautiful. And men will just walk up to them and tell a woman, say, hey, you're beautiful. I love looking at you. Or, you're the best thing I've seen all day. Me, I
Yeah,
walk up to you, tell you something like that and just walk away. And that's all a woman wants to know.
right.
But if she's hearing that from someone else, and I'm just getting to know her, getting to, learning her or getting, knowing more about her, is she going to be that serious about me because someone else is telling her the same thing? And she's feeding into it being a flirt.
I'm a flirt all the time.
I was
Who
just about
said
to
it?
say,
Tavana?
Yeah.
I'm a flirt. If
Tavana?
I'm not in a relationship with nobody, even if we
What
getting to
that,
know each
but
other,
that's the
I'm
thing.
gonna be a flirt.
If you're not in a relationship with anybody, then please, by all means, it's up to you. Be a
Well,
flirt.
well, Terry, for the late listeners, Tavana found herself in a situation where she was subconsciously, a guy saw her picture and said, you need to put your tongue back in your mouth. And she responded, or in your mouth.
Oh,
And then the guy wanted to know where she was and was willing to drive to Atlanta.
And she was
And
like,
then she was like, oh Lord, hey, I'm just joking on Facebook.
but
Not trying to
but
hook up
but
with you.
but for a woman being a flirt, that right there, that's dangerous. Do y'all agree?
I
Do you disagree?
but
Okay, I
okay.
absolutely. Y'all write this down. It's 7:29, and I'm about to agree with Karen. Okay. I agree with you, and I know why I agree with you, and I know why you said it, right?
What? Oh,
Because
I'm glad it's recorded.
I know, right? Because, and I think the reason, you correct me if I'm wrong, the reason you're saying that it's dangerous is because when you're flirting, when it can be dangerous, because when you're flirting unconsciously or consciously with a man, and he's thinking that you're serious or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and he's flirting back or whatever. And then you're like, oh, well, wait a minute. No, I was just flirting and he was actually feeling it. You have those type of men that get in their feelings, you know what I'm saying? And then they want to act crazy, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. So I do understand how it can, go off the rails because not all men will just walk away and be like, okay, thank you know what I'm saying? We done seen plenty of things in the news where men, the rejection, you know what I'm saying? Some men don't do well with that type of.
Rejection. Right.
I agree.
We
I
learned that one
understand.
all the time, right, Coach Sean?
Yes, yes.
You reject me 20 times, but it's just that one.
That's
That's
all
the
it takes
one
is
I'm gonna
one.
rock with. One.
Right. That's all it takes is one.
Or catching me at the right time, for that matter. Because I might reject you in a couple of other instances, but if you catch me at the right time when I'm in the right mode or, mood to just be
Vibe out.
spontaneous, then hey, you might got me.
That's just for the night. That's just for the moment.
And
That's
it'll
just for
just
some
be for the
conversation.
moment because I'll go right back to rejecting you. But if you catch me in the right moment, you might be okay.
And what was the other part that you said you guys were talking about, Coach Sean? I'm sorry, I missed it.
We talked about being able to deal with a flirt. And the other thing, Deborah, the ladies actually said that during, like after a breakup, you got out of a relationship.
Uh-huh.
They threw the sundress on. They put a little lip gloss on, threw the sundress on, and they all agreed that it didn't take a lot of work. Like, hey, all I had to do is get out and pump some gas, and a guy's going to, approach.
But didn't I just say that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he did. He did. He
Okay.
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the big difference, right? Men, and I think this is societal, right? Because most of the time, women will not approach men
Right.
like men approach women. Like if some women won't do that. They won't just walk up to a guy and be like, "Oh my God, you are absolutely beautiful." Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, there are some really like.
Men
Attractive
aren't
man,
beautiful.
but
We're
they should
handsome
do it.
or
No,
attractive.
no,
They
no,
should.
no. Let me correct you. There are some very beautiful men. Like
Oh
you,
yeah.
you can be fine, but when you are a beautiful man, that's a little beyond fine. Like, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It goes a little more, a little
Right.
too
Okay.
past fine.
Okay.
Um, but even whatever words you want to use, most women won't go up to a man and say, "Oh my God, you're so handsome," or "Oh my God, you fine," or whatever. Like, but a
I
man.
will.
I will
Sisters,
too, but we talking about the,
sisters won't do it. Sisters won't do it.
oh no, we definitely do
Oh, I do. I definitely do.
it. But Deborah, we don't count. We like the point.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't count Savannah.
Right. We talking about the other ones. So most of them won't do it. But men aren't like that. You will it's the opposite for a man. Most men are going to approach,
Do
are
that.
going to say something. It's a very rare amount of men who won't. So that's where it makes a big difference. And this is why I think men tend to have that I need to see if I still got it versus women because we hear it all day, every day. We don't ever have to worry about or think or wonder if we still got it. Because like you said, we can go to the grocery store, the gas station, pick up our kid from school. It don't freaking matter. We can just anything. And you don't have to dress up. You can go out there in your scarf and your bedroom shoes and it's not going to make a difference. Right? So we don't ever have to worry about if we still got it because it's going to be somebody that reminds us every day that we do. But because a lot of women don't do that, men tend to get in this rut like, dang, especially when they're not feeling appreciated, they're not feeling, you know what I'm saying, whatever's going on. And it's like, well, let me go out here and flirt a little bit and see if the girls still like me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think that's the difference.
And for us, like the fact that we get hit on when we are really 9 times out of 10 looking our worst to us. You get what I'm saying?
When I turn that corner, I like, bitch,
What is that?
Is that
I don't know. Franklin? Who is
I
that?
think that's Franklin.
It,
Franklin mute? Yes, thank you.
Yeah, because it's quiet on my end. But yeah, like because men hit on us in our moments where we feel like we ain't looking our best, again, you ain't really got to wonder. You know what I'm saying? You know you walked out the house and you had maybe some holes somewhere. You just run into the store, you're buying it on. You know what I'm saying? And you still gonna get hollered at, or you're still gonna be told you're beautiful.
And men, and it's kind of sad in my opinion, because I think men should get that type of attention a lot. You know what I'm
what,
saying? But the
Right,
society that we live in teaches women not to do that. That they're the prize and there should be the hunter. That did blah 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 blah. So women aren't out here just telling men, "Hey, you are extremely handsome. You are," you know what I'm saying?
right.
To,
And like Miss Jackson said, and I should be able to tell you that without you thinking I'm trying to like holla at you or flirt. Like I should be able to just say
that's
you're very
How can a
handsome.
man
Like
do that? How can a man compliment you all
exactly.
without you thinking he's flirting?
it's very
Wait,
easy.
just
No,
walk
I'm
away.
serious.
Right.
Ask
It's
me
very
this question.
easy.
Just walk away.
People do it all the time because, like, somebody, well, I know for me, I'm probably, you're not even gonna break my stride. Like, I'm gonna hear you say it and I'm gonna keep walking and say thank you. So we ain't even gonna, it ain't gonna be no, you ain't got
That
time.
part.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna acknowledge you that you said it, but I'm not stopping to acknowledge you saying something like that to me.
I'm gonna say thank you and I'm gonna keep it pushing. Yeah.
And
No,
I
y'all didn't
think
answer
that
the question.
everybody that tells me that I'm pretty is flirting with me. I think it's just a compliment, and that's it. Like, we can just leave it at that.
What was the question, Koshan?
How can a man? I know you all are saying that you can decipher. For men, help us out. How can we compliment women and it's not being received as flirting?
Walk away.
Yeah, walk away after you do it. Don't linger. Don't just say, "Hey, you're so beautiful today," and just keep on about your damn business.
If
Yeah.
you're if you
So
stop if you say it, if you make the statement, and as a man, you stand there and you're trying to look into her eyes and hold her hand, you're flirting. If you walk up to her or walk past her and make the statement, "Oh, you're beautiful today," "Oh, I love the dress, I love the hair," and keep going on about your business, it's not flirting.
Right.
so Damon in the chat said, "Tell me I'm beautiful. Watch what happens. You beyond flirting."
Well, yeah, but that's the other part of it, and that's why a lot of women won't see those won't say that type of thing to a man because most men don't even know how to take it. They don't know how to perceive it. They figure the woman is flirting with him. The woman just wanted to give you a comment and walk away as well. If she wanted to walk away, then she's not flirting with you. But if she's trying to, stand there or sit there or hold a conversation with you, then maybe she is. So,
My
it's
point
vice
is, at
versa
the
both
end of the
ways.
day, it's in it, but it should be okay either way, right? Now,
Right.
what we talked about before Koshan started recording, and he was like, hold that, is the disrespectful side of the flirting, right? And what we were talking about, like in like women going in the barbershop and you feeling like you shouldn't have to go in the barbershop and feel like, I think Tamika said, a pork chop being thrown in the lion's den. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? It's that disrespectful. That's not okay. And when it goes to a point of where what you're saying to a woman is borderline sexual harassment, that is not okay. And I think some men don't know where that line is. You know what I'm saying? Like between a compliment and, sir, you have crossed the line. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can tell a woman, "Oh, you look beautiful today," but you absolutely should not like be going into detail about her body parts and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's disrespectful. And some men think that that's okay to do, and it's not.
Yeah, I had a man tell me I had a bright future behind me. And after I looked at him like he was crazy, he was just like, I like your dress. Well, say that.
Yeah, and I got actually told the other day that I was dragging a wagon behind me. That's it. You look good. You dragging that wagon real good.
See, and that's
Right?
not cute. You gonna get cussed the f- out. You say something like that to me. I'm gonna tell you.
Right. And he did, but then like but what was the point of all of that? Like why would you do that?
And well, I know what the point of it is, and I think we all know what the point of this is because there's some dummy that reacted positively to that craziness, right? So because one woman let him get away with it and snickled and kikied, then I'm gonna just keep saying it to other ones too until you run up on one that's gonna cuss you out, and then now you offended and you wanna cuss her back out. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and this is what I was trying to figure out, like how come it's like men don't seem to have a meter. Like it's like you think you can say the same, like the one line work on every woman. Don't you know that that's not the same? Like you can't say something to educated, career minded, like you know what I'm saying, got her stuff together woman that you gonna say to some little hood
Well, how do
rat
we know?
trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like that it's
Yeah.
not the same.
How do we know? Like Damon said, it worked the first 25 times. How do we know that it won't work now?
It should just not even be an option to work. Like it's disrespectful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel like no man should really just like approach like that. Like period.
But we all know that they do. And
But
it is
they do, but like common sense should tell you that that's not, even if it gets you somewhere with someone, it's probably not going to be someone that you're really wanting to deal with in any type of real capacity.
But
So Sean,
so
walking into a
unfair.
beauty supply place and you have on gray sweatpants, and I'm like, left or right? You're like, what? Which way is hanging? Like it's rude.
Well, here's the thing, and I think this goes both ways, and this is what causes a problem. Like going back to what Damon just said, it worked the first 25 times, right? For men, if it's a woman that we're attracted to, she can basically say anything to us, and we let it go. And I think that in some instances that happens with women as well. I've seen women like in the workplace. The CEO can say things to you that the custodian can't. So is that fair?
I don't know because I don't have that complex. I'm gonna tell you, I don't give a damn who you are. Come out your mouth sideways to me, and it's gonna be a problem. So I don't have. It don't matter if you're the CEO versus the janitor. It don't matter whether you fine versus you ugly. It don't matter versus whether I would have hollered at you or would not have hollered at you. None of that matters to me. But I can see how some women would probably,
Right.
be dumb enough to,
To
what I'm
receive it
saying,
differently.
that matter. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I've been in, listen, I've experienced it. I went from a math teacher to a district level facilitator. And the treatment, the disparity in the way I was treated was like unbelievable. You know, as a teacher, I'm just a teacher. But when I'm working at a district office, it's like I got the red carpet. People made inappropriate comments to me. Like everything changed. So, and I agree, a lot of women do feel the way you all feel. Like, hey, I don't care about any of that. You're going to respect me because these are my boundaries. But from a man's perspective, when those things have worked in the past, we don't know it won't work on you until it doesn't work on you. So, not trying to be rude or disrespectful, just asking for a little grace. And,
I'm not
that,
giving no breaks on that.
Neither am I. Because you're going to do it until you come across a woman who doesn't allow it.
okay.
And I'm the type. I'm gonna say what you say, what you had to say, and then I'm gonna say what I had to say. And if you feel like you want to say something back, then I guess we about to stand here and go toe to toe. Because what you not gonna do is be disrespectful, and that's that on that.
Damon,
And then
share what
think
you
you
have
gonna
to
beat
say,
me
Damon.
getting mad after you're disrespectful.
All we doing is basically letting y'all know how it is out here from a men's point of view.
I definitely agree with that.
And like Damon said, the entire podcast is rooted on what? Communication.
Yep, and I think that's that's the importance of this. You know what I'm saying? Because like Damon was saying, like you were just saying, a lot of men, this is really how they think. You know what I'm saying? And so hopefully with us doing this, it would give, if a man is listening that does think this way, hopefully it would give him a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? To hear it a different way and to hear us talk about it and hear the guys say, you know, I'm saying what y'all are saying too, because those type of things are just not okay. And so because, like you said, 25 other people thought it was cool, it's still not cool. I don't care. There's no right way to do wrong. So just because you did it and got away with it 25 times didn't make it right. It just means 25 other people didn't check you on it.
Right. So
I
so
like
you
the way you
shouldn't.
said it.
That's why Coach Sean said give him some grace. Maybe just let him know, hey man, I don't like the way you approach me, but the conversation might make a total turn and be someone that's really interesting to you, and y'all might hit it off. But he just approached
I
you
didn't
wrong.
think that far, Damon. I'm sorry. It's
I
not.
feel you. I feel you. And you know, unfortunately, a lot of women don't give give a man a second look because of something that is very frivolous. I'm gonna say the same thing for some men. I mean, it's unforgiving out here. It's very unforgiving.
Yeah, I believe that God forgives, I don't. That's my motto. I don't have time for that. Find somebody else. I'm not.
Tamika said, you have to say this, Tamika, for our listeners who cannot read. Go ahead. Please, ma'am, Ms. Jackson.
I'm sorry, I was trying to unmute. I was saying it's kind of like the comparison when men feel they can please you. Like we said, the 25 women liked it before. You had probably, 5 or to 10 partners before me, and you come with those same moves, and I'm looking like, I'm sorry, but that's not it. And you're like, well, it worked on the last 10 girls. Well, let me tell you what I like, because that's not working on me.
Tying back to the premise of the podcast, and we talked about this on some previous episodes. A lot of men don't have the confidence or the communication skills. But what's the best way to find out what a person likes?
Telling them. But
Just
you can't talk to closed ears. You have to be able to receive what I'm about to tell you and not tell you
right.
all your life.
Right,
Because
and I get the feeling.
right, it could have worked for 40
Communication.
years, but
Yeah,
44 years
communication is important.
today, it's not working.
Listen, I learned that at an early age when, like you said, whatever worked with other partners, and one person was like, "Oh, that's whack." And initially, I was upset. I'm young, 16, maybe 17. But then when I talked to my older cousin about it, he was like, "Man, you have to learn to listen to women. They'll tell you what they want. Just listen. Don't go in assuming anything. Don't assume that a woman is a certain way because of how she looks, because of how she dresses, because of what her body is like. Just ask, just communicate, and she will tell you."
And
Um,
in return, she could have communicated that better, because that would put me on this fence. As you say, that's whack. That's not how you have opened up the communication to have a better sex life.
true, but for a teenage guy, guess what? Guess what the
But
men
you
will
said
say?
teenage, yeah,
Guess what men say? Hey, I still got it. She can't take that back. I've been there.
right.
And that's being immature, but that was, a male's perspective and how we process that, especially at that age.
Until she
Um,
go back to school and say it was whack.
Been
Then
there,
but,
what?
done that. Been there,
but
done that.
I still got the t-shirt. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And you can say what you want to say. And if you're not my girlfriend, how many women want to go back and say that? Because now, how do you know it was whack? You had to be at 2 and 10, right? And 2 and 10 is where the legs are on the clock with at the 2 and the 10. So the only way to know that it was whack is if he got some. So men really aren't offended like that as offended as some people will think, unless they wear their egos on their shoulders. You know what I'm saying? And you
That's
can't please everybody.
it boils down to ego. And I think the egos have to kind of get checked at the door because, nobody has time to tiptoe around that all the time. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That comment was ego.
Mm. Where she was saying it was whack, Damon?
No, then nobody has time to tiptoe around that. That's ego. You feel like you deserve something else when, I mean, maybe if you take the time to tiptoe around that, it could be resolved.
That's not what I meant because I didn't think that at all. It's not what I was saying. What I'm
Oh, my
saying,
bad. I might have misunderstood.
what I was saying is if if a woman is being honest with you about something, this is her being honest and communicating well, right? And if you get offended by her honesty, that's the ego that needs to be checked at the door.
Oh,
Because how
Roger.
is
Yeah,
he going to, you can't be, if I can't be honest with you because my honesty is going to offend your insecurity, you are the problem, sir.
I agree.
Look at how communication cleared that up.
That on that.
And that's what I said. It boils down to communication. We have to learn to be effective communications and understand effective communicators and understand that we are all dynamic people. Damon, I have a quick question for you.
Can I get this
Um,
out first?
Go ahead.
Hold on to that question. But
Yes.
I just wanted to say the majority of the time that I was offended, it wasn't the what, it was the how. And it's the same thing he said earlier, or someone alluded to, how you tell him or how you tell her. That makes a big difference. But go ahead, Coach. Coach.
Hey, that was a perfect line because this goes into, and I'm just sharing this. Damon is so humble, but Damon was the, what was your rank, Damon? In layman's term, he's the big dog. What was your rank when you retired?
I'm 89, man. That ain't no big rank.
Uh, so Damon was E9. He's the first sergeant. Yes. So, command sergeant major. He's over the entire base, right? And what I wanted to know was how did that change the communication between you and not saying that every day involved flirting, but do you think that women would have allowed, were you able to interact differently being the man, right? Do you think conversations were received differently? And I know you mature. You're going to watch what you say and how you say it because you're not trying to get, hemmed up in any way. But were you received differently? And
Of
did women
course,
communicate with you differently?
of course. And when you get to a certain influence level, you have to have people around you that watch out for your blind spots.
Mm,
You have to have people around you that keeps you grounded because I can say something that's totally wrong and people will just agree with it because of who I was. And if you don't have anybody to ground you, you could be so far off in left field and so, just off kilter with everything, man. You can really hurt yourself and hurt a lot of other people. So yeah, and people, their eyes get bright when you start talking and everything you say is like gospel when it really isn't.
your
So
jokes
you
are
you
funnier.
really have to be, huh?
Your jokes become funnier.
Right, right, right. And then you got the opportunists, right, to think that they can, get on the other side of you know, your facade that you put on when you reach a certain rank, and you have to put up a defense. You have to have some checks and balances for yourself. And like I said before, you have to surround yourself with people that'll watch your blind spots because we are ignorant when it comes to that kind of stuff. We 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 are linear thinkers. We think we see the horizon, but what we are really focused, and we need people to really look out for us, man.
Mm. Yeah, Miss Jackson, he is very humble. Franklin said those are the suck up. I think he experienced those as well. Franklin is another retired veteran.
Yeah, you got
And
some of those too now, but you sometimes you just have people that want to get to where you are. And when
right.
you tell them certain things, man, they really take it to heart and they run
Yeah,
100
sure.
miles an hour in that direction. So you
Because
got
they
to be
really
very
think,
careful.
yeah, they think that, hey, and I can see that they're aspiring to be where you are. And hey, how did you do this? How did you get there? And if you tell them certain things, yeah, they're definitely going to try that, you know. Oh yeah, guys, thank you guys both for your service. But this is something. Oh, and Damon, you and Franklin, the late callers, we want to know how do you guys deal with a woman that's a flirt? And can you be with a woman who is a flirt? Like seeing if she still has it. She wants to go to the grocery store with her leggings on today, or the sundress with everything shaking like a slinky. You know, can you deal with that?
Well, I think the first, you know, few interactions will kind of allow you to see how the person is. You look at what attracted you to the person, and you make a decision for yourself if you think you'll be able to deal with it. You know, I always tell people the things that you love about a person are the same things you hate about the same person. So you just got to really think about it. Can I deal with this? Or me, a really flirtatious woman, I know for a fact I wouldn't be able to deal with that if being mine. So yeah.
Ladies,
Someone asked why.
Nicole said, why can you not deal with flirt?
That question already.
Yeah,
I
Daniel said,
answered it.
Terry
Terry
said,
answered it earlier. Why?
yeah, flirting could lead to clothes being missing.
No, 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 not always.
Well, they're saying for them.
No,
The clothes being missing.
no,
Yeah.
I didn't say clothes being missing. What I said was that could potentially lead to her being available for someone else. A woman that is, you know,
She can be available without
'cause-
flirting.
Right.
well,
I mean,
again, it's me learning someone, getting to know someone, and if she's a flirtatious person, I can't deal with it. I can't, because I don't know how.
But that's a good thing. Just your self awareness is a good thing.
So now,
So that way
Jimmy's
you don't have to
situation,
do.
his might be a little different of why he can't be with her, but that was me. That was my response earlier.
Oh, I can't be with her because, yeah, I
what?
because I'm jealous.
Oh, okay.
And if
Appreciate
I
you.
know my spouse or my woman is out there flirting with a lot of people, you know, that's potential. No, I can't deal with that.
Okay.
I got other things I got to be focused on, not to rather my old lady flirting with somebody in the streets and I'm at work.
You're the first man I've ever heard verbally say I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous. That's all I wanted to hear.
I'm not. I'm not jealous, but I definitely couldn't deal with her. A flirter? I don't think so.
You flirt.
No, I don't.
You my cousin.
Yeah,
I know you
with,
flirt.
look. When you're dealing when
You
you're
my
dealing
cousin. I know you flirt.
look when you're dealing with a flirter, it automatically adjusts your mind on where her mental capacity is really, and then you're able to put her in whatever category you want to put her in. I said before, something to do, girlfriend or wife. Once she flirts, I know where her moral compass is. I
No.
don't care what her connotation is, how she's bringing it across to me. If she's flirting, her moral compass is not really where I need it to be. I need focus on me. Like women need focus on them when they're with their man in public or the bedroom. I need that focus on me.
So the guys are saying no for flirting, a flirtatious woman. So
Mhm.
ladies, can you all deal with a man who's considered a flirt?
Yes.
Woo!
I
What?
can't. I find it cute.
You are the first, my queen. You are the first
Yes,
to
I
say that.
can.
Ah.
And
So you're
Tamika,
looking. So what's
you said you find it cute, Tamika?
I do. It's a little turn on when, like, I guess not him flirting so much. Like if we're at a restaurant and I could see the waitress is clearly flirting with my man, and I just be like, oh, that's so cute.
Oh, that's
what?
totally different.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
so
I'm
it
just
is.
gonna
Oh,
be
that's
It
so
like
is.
cute.
doing it so we can get this free meal. So
You're breaking up, Ivana.
we can get this free.
Damon just said the same thing that you love about a person could be the same thing that you hate about a person. And
I don't know, cause I'm that type of person. Like if I
because
see a
Tamika just said that she would love to see her man flirting with the waitress in the restaurant and all that and this and all that. You'd
No,
probably
I
want to
wouldn't say.
kill me.
I said
You
not
probably
him.
want
That's
you you probably want to kill me.
No, I was saying he was in a restaurant. If he was flirting, I said, well, no, I think if she was flirting with him, I would think that's cute. But if he
Oh,
started flirting, I'm not sure how I would feel about that. Both of y'all flirting. Like, can I put my fettuccine in, please?
Could I, could I, could I ask the women? Could I ask the women a question? Could I ask the women a question?
Yes.
In reference to, uh, yeah, I mean, what's the purpose on you preparing yourself, being beautiful, and what your man is requiring of you, if you're okay with him looking somewhere else? I don't understand that.
You only looking.
Hmm?
He is the man, like, hey, babe, look at her. You see, like, her body right.
You only
No,
looking.
or she got a nice butt, or you get what I'm saying? I don't care if you look, because I'm bringing it to your attention.
That's right.
Okay. And when you,
No, listen.
hmm,
When you see your man, when you sitting at the bar with your man and he making eyes at a lady across the bar, or he whispering in the lady next to him on the other side, he is actively flirting.
hmm,
That's very different from,
Yeah, I
somebody
don't
flirting with
know.
you, or, you pointing out that somebody got a nice body or something versus him
Yeah, I
flirting.
wouldn't like that.
Huh?
I said I would absolutely not like that.
it's not flirting. If you take the lead role, it's not flirting. You're inviting him on a comment you making.
ooh.
Devonna says she likes it.
Hmm.
She actually think it's cute to watch your man flirt.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
I don't think, I'm not calling her a liar.
Hey,
I'm not judging her feel. I don't think she's being honest because she sounds like the type of woman that keeps herself together. And to have a man's attention and have him taking a split second just to look at another woman and she's okay with it, I don't see that. I just don't.
Devonna said,
some,
this
some,
man does not
some,
know me.
some, sometimes I hear Tavon. Sometimes I hear Tavon on these shows, man. And I swear to God, man, I'd like to test Tavon sometimes.
Yeah, Savannah come across as different, don't she?
She
She
does. She
does.
sure
She
does.
does. She does. She does.
I don't
It's
come
not even.
across as different. I am. Like, please,
You caught that?
I am definitely the point five. Like, don't get it twisted. I am the unicorn, like Coach Sean said. I really am.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I,
she's
I have I have a I have a question. We're talking about women being flirtatious. What about the women that doesn't even flirt with their men, or what about the women that don't flirt enough?
Here you go. There you go, CSM.
Oh,
There you go.
I don't know about them because I do. I
I've
don't know.
I've I've had a conversation with a woman recently, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. I had a conversation with a woman recently, and I told her like, look, I had an epiphany, and she was like, what do you mean? I said, well, just in my sleep, I just had this thought in my sleep. You never flirt with me. She had to think about it. Like, do you even know how to flirt?
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't
ladies.
think she does.
How do you flirt with
So I
your
may.
man, ladies?
Oh,
Oh,
don't
That's
don't worry.
flirting.
Hey,
Put on
nobody
my
want to
sexy
say?
red shorts and
I
go
would
outside.
recognize passing and flirting
No,
at the
no,
time.
no,
I'm
no.
a good flirt. You said
Yeah,
how?
the little short shorts.
Talk to
That's not
guys.
that's not flirting.
Talk to
Mm-mm.
guys. How guys, when I see them, embrace them. Guys I know. I mean, hey, I'm with you.
How
That's
would you
not
flirt
flirting.
with your man?
That's not flirting.
Hmm.
Ladies, how would you
I'm
flirt
like,
with your man?
I'm
Let's
silly, so I'll start dancing naked in front of
let's
your whole playoffs game. Like you be like, what game
huh?
You all
was that?
kinds.
He's like,
Is this
you
like an
forget.
overtime game? Is this an overtime Super Bowl game?
It wouldn't matter what game it was, 'cause I was just in front of the TV. I like, and then I think flirting is more than in person too. Just like foreplay is more than just touching each other and swirl. Like foreplay can start when we both at work.
And that's exactly where it starts. That's exactly
Oh,
where the
That
flirting starts.
that's what I'm talking about.
That's right. You gonna get some pictures.
yeah,
Man,
You gonna have to open them up on the slide tip at work.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like
This is what I'm doing
yeah,
on the chair. Uh
yeah.
huh.
You
Yeah,
gonna the text gonna make the phone drop out your
yeah.
hand. Yeah,
To
absolutely.
get off early, because that's what I
Savannah,
need. Uh huh.
Savannah,
Yeah.
what do you say? What do you say about your sisters that are in relationships that don't flirt with their man at all? Is
Who
the
is
feelings
talking? Who is
gone?
this talking?
Is the feelings gone?
Is that Franklin?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. What do I say? about those women who don't flirt
At all. Is the feeling
at all.
gone? Are they
Oh,
are they head somewhere else?
oh yeah, they flirting with somebody.
Whole whack.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think so
okay,
too.
okay.
We are
I
too
need to add.
flirty.
I need to add. I need to add on to that question. So those that don't flirt with their man, you're under the impression that they're flirting with someone else.
Mm,
What about those? Or what about those that don't know how to flirt?
Yeah, I was gonna say
mm.
if they've never flirted, that's different. They
Would
don't
would
know
you
how
Then,
to
would you
flirt.
would you
then I
would
think
you
they need
give
to.
some of these women who don't know how to flirt
A
some
pointer.
instructions on how
Yeah.
to
Oh,
flirt with their man?
absolutely. I just told you
Mm,
send them to my class. Yeah,
mm.
put them in contact with me. I got you.
Yeah, drop a key on the floor. Drop your keys on the floor with a half torso robe on or something and dunk up and do something.
Gotta do this. That's on Clueless. Snap and pop.
Yeah, right. But if, in my opinion, flirting is psychological. It's psychological. It's mental. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's the little things that you say. It's the little innuendos that you give. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not that hard, but I do understand how some people don't know how to do it.
Damon
I think
asked, "What are some ways women flirt?"
Yeah, pictures, conversations, little innuendos. Like you can flirt with something as simple as he says something to you,
Mm-hmm.
and you turn that phrase into something totally different. Like
mm,
you know what I'm saying? Like
mm.
Eye contact, the way you're
yeah,
looking. Like you got
the
your
way
TV
yeah,
and you look
all
over
that.
and I'm looking at you a certain way. You're looking like, why the hell you looking at me like that? And I'm like, why the hell your pants still on?
Mm, mm.
Sounds
Watch
good
out,
right
man.
there. Who's
If
that,
you're
Lynn?
not, if you,
Miss Jackson?
yeah. Mm.
Accent.
Miss Jackson, could you send my wife a copy of that book you've been reading?
Oh my god! And I think that some of it, guys, is just how the woman's innate ability to do it. Some women have it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I believe some women get too comfortable. And
You know what?
That too.
Preach,
I'm
sister.
serious. Women get too comfortable and they feel like things that they did to get the guy or the man, it stops when they become the wife. You know,
Yeah.
you know, they get more serious. Like, how did you get him? You know, what do you do? And then everything they change their last name and seems like it goes downhill. That's just my opinion.
No, from a male perspective, you definitely have my thumbs up on that.
Ladies, Damon has a question, and this is for the listeners who can't see what he typed. Damon says, a woman in the grocery store last week grabbed a cucumber, looked at him, and then placed it on her chin.
Definitely.
Was that
That was
flirting?
Definitely. Did he have on jogging pants or what?
Can't wait to get home. Can't wait to get home, man.
yeah. How are you drunk to deserve that type of treatment?
Slutted out. He was definitely slutted
You
out.
know how
You
he
had
dressed?
on
No, wait a
Did he have on gray joggers or what?
wait a minute. So men can't dress comfortably?
No, that's
No,
not comfortable.
Sean,
That's slutty.
you know
You know that.
exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah, he must have had on gray sweatpants
Gray
Yeah,
because
sweatpants is
exactly.
slut behavior.
Hold up. What is wrong with gray sweatpants?
he
The
must have just
worst.
got his
The
haircut. He must
worst.
have got his
I
haircut.
was actually in a suit. I was leaving church.
Oh, well, you just
Okay.
Oh, that's a
look
safe
really
thing.
nice.
You just got to do
Safety.
you just got to do
And I
hand
saw
work.
you at church, Damon, also with your blue suit.
Not a
Oh, you did?
cucumber.
I did.
Was that Nikki with the cucumber?
Yeah, no, that wasn't me with the cucumber, but I saw him at church, at Royal, my church. You know, our church, however.
He looked like he deserved a cucumber to the chin.
He was sharp, but I think
Okay.
he had on some cognac shoes,
Huh?
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Nicole, ooh, you're making me look worse. You know, all this is today.
You trying to go
Today's Friday. Today's Thursday or whatever day it is. Friday, and that's a Sunday, ma'am. So no way you can remember and all that.
She remembered the
You
outfit,
trying to go ahead.
new color, 5 days
Yeah, I
later,
did. I did.
Okay.
CID, ain't it?
fresh haircut.
She
Damon,
must she must be
that
CID,
was
Damon.
flirting. That was flirting. That was flirting, Damon.
Well, can we address this double standard right quick? Now, I am a suit and tie everyday guy,
Even in the gym.
so I only own like one pair of jeans, right? Other than that, I'm wearing some joggers from Sam's or Costco. Can a
Okay.
man not wear sweatpants?
Can a woman not wear a sundress?
Can a woman not wear tights?
Yeah, sundress tights. That's normal now, which is crazy. I remember 10 years ago, 15 years ago, kids were getting suspended left and right for wearing leggings. They were banned. You can't wear them. Now, everywhere you go, women wear leggings to the grocery store, to the gym, out to restaurants. They wear
Cover
leggings.
up. They should be covered also. I have a problem with guys with joggers without boxer briefs, scrapping their genital parts, keeping them together, keeping it in one spot. I have a
Hold on
problem.
now. So what? How's a man supposed? So he's explain that to me. What is a man supposed to do? Wear some tighty whities, some
Yeah,
God,
a boxer
size too
briefs.
small?
Mm-hmm.
she want every man to walk around, God bless his soul, like Greg.
No, she does not. She's saying a man cannot wear
He
joggers
said, let him hang.
No,
tying
It
himself
needs to
down.
it needs to be put together because the minute a man sees something or get excited in those type of active wear, their penis start to rise, and that's, I mean, and people are gonna look.
That's when you take them to the back and you.
No, no,
Okay,
no,
let me go back on mute. I'm gonna go back on mute. I'm just going.
Devin said, "Oh my gosh, I just thought out what Devin was saying."
I said it and I meant it. Because if we out in public and that's what happened, come on, let's go take care of that real quick.
But it's still double standard because women will say, "Oh, whenever someone will, why was she dressed that way? Why was such and such?" And you will say women should be able to wear whatever they want, dress
That's
however they
what we're
want.
saying. We're picking. I was kind of picking at that
Yeah, not
when
be
I said,
mistreated.
but
Go ahead, Miss Jackie.
yeah, I was picking, kind of playing on that something happens to a woman, and you're like, well, what she had on. That's why he said he got the cucumber to the chin. I was like, well, what did you have on? I was basically mocking what we have to hear.
But a lot of people jumped on that. Tavana said he was started out. No, it says like a slut bucket or something, she said. He dressed like a slut bucket.
Yeah,
So
you had a wild imagination. The woman that with the cucumber. That's all.
victim blaming. Yeah, Damon. So we cannot wear suits with a fresh haircut. I know you're joking, Tavana. We cannot wear gray sweats. What
And
else?
Damon, what did you do? So what was the rest of the story after you saw the
Oh,
cucumber?
I kept walking. My wife and child were on the next aisle. Well, I was in produce, of course, but they were a little bit ahead of me. So I was like, wow. And I shook my head and kept walking. So yeah,
And if you were alone in the grocery store, you would have did the same thing, right?
absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, what you? Tavana says she actually prefers the gray sweats. So I can see what we're working with.
See, but then when you get unwarranted pictures, then you ready to call them everything by the child of God.
Right.
I didn't do the pictures.
That is something. So this was a good episode. We're talking about how people perceive flirting. And guys, for the late listeners and the people that are coming in, we talked about the experiences at the barbershop. And so far the census from the women are it's disrespectful. They don't like it. But I will say this, there are some groups where women joke about it. They were like, "Oh, time to get a new man. Let me put these tights on and take my son to the barbershop." So they get a
Hey,
kick out of it.
Coach Sean, I was a little league football coach too. Don't forget that.
Listen, man, that is the best
And
kept secret in the world. We talked about that in person before, but I tell guys when I was younger, about 20 something years ago, if you want an opportunity to get about 50 to 100 women to yourself, just be a little league football coach or a referee. And I did football and basketball, and but it was a bit disheartening, especially in our area, to see literally 100 mothers, because on Saturdays you have like 4 to 8 teams competing against each other, right? So you have 100 moms out there by themselves with their kids on a Saturday morning, and the guys are at the barbershop, at the car wash, armor all in the tires, while these women out there alone. And it's like, man, you buy their kid some Gatorade, you help him put his chin strap on, help her son like get his pads together, and they just throw themselves at you. Javonna is saying I wear leggings and a t-shirt daily, so I don't know what I could wear that would be an issue. So yeah, Javonna, let's get back to that, ladies, with the leggings, right? Because leggings don't fit the same on everybody. And I've seen Miss Jackson, Nicole, and Tavana in real life, right? I won't make any comments about y'all's physique. I don't want to be disrespectful.
Whatever.
I'll let y'all comment. I won't make comments. But leggings don't fit y'all like they fit everybody else now.
Why
I
not?
work at a high school, and the teachers that wear leggings on some days, they absolutely can wear them, and they're not provocative. But let some other
So,
people wear them.
okay, so can you please help us with what makes them provocative?
Oh, you know what makes them
Yeah,
provocative?
No, I
actually,
really don't.
so I know because I work in corporate America. A white coworker of mine, we had the same exact dress on, and they were not giving the same results. Mine was a lot more curvy, and
Probably doing this
you know,
flexing.
No, on this podcast.
because it's funny.
Mute.
Yes. So Miss Jackson, go ahead. Your dress fit a little different.
It fit a little different, and hers just. I think it happened to a Colombian news lady one time, like with her wearing a dress, and everyone was like, that dress didn't look appropriate on her. It was almost to her knees, and just because she was a little curvy, it wasn't appropriate on her. And then another woman, a newscaster, had the same dress on, and no one said anything about it because it didn't. It was just a dress on the body.
Well, it's
So
happened to basketball coaches. Like I know Sydney Carter gets a lot of slack. Alabama A&M
Absolutely.
basketball coach gets a lot of slack. These women are dressed to the nines. Like they are dressed, but because their body, they have thicker thighs or bigger booties, or you know what I'm saying. Now it's an issue because like Tamika said, if a white woman would put those same outfits on with flat booty, it would be no problem.
Yeah,
So
they don't.
I don't think
It
that
does
that's
not
fair.
provoke any thoughts.
But it should. But so is it the provocation of thought that is the issue?
I think so. I really believe so.
Okay. Well, I think that's sad because I mean you can't help that. You're
Absolutely.
supposed to walk
And so
around in
if
a
I
the whole time.
no, but if I see something that doesn't provoke a thought in my mind that might be a violation of some rule that my organization has in place, then it's not a problem. But the minute I start to thought about my coworker or my employee, then you can't wear that no
But I
more.
don't know, and I don't think that that's fair. So your something wrong with your mind. I got to dress different. That's crazy. Like
No, I don't, and I'm not talking about me
no, I
particularly,
mean yeah, I know not
but,
you, but I'm just
but,
saying
but
something.
it's not something wrong with his mind. He's a man, and naturally something is provoked in his mind when he sees you versus Katie.
But again, I don't think the woman should have to switch because of that. I don't think that that's fair because you can't control what you look like and you can't control his thoughts. So then what are we really saying? Like, he should be able to control it. He should be able to control
No,
Actions, yes, but
not the thoughts.
no. And the thoughts are a response or reaction. It's just like a person having an orgasm or being raped. They can't control it. It's their body's reaction because although it's rape, they're still being stimulated. So if you
Damn, you
know,
went deep on that one, brother.
and Miss,
it. That was
yeah,
a little off. But okay, yeah, I see where you
no,
with that.
yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
reaction that we can't control. So, and I know that's very extreme. I did that intentionally to show how things can be outside of our control, how our body can react to things, right? Eh,
But I guess what I'm saying is I don't think the person, woman or whomever, should have to check. It's like a man. Like you just say you have a man who is extremely attractive. He has a lot of muscles and he wears all his shirts medium, right? So, and he wears all his shirts medium and all his pants tight. And you see all kind of muscles and prints every day. Like, and women are having the same type of reaction in their mind, right? Same exposure. Should that man have to change how he dresses?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I've been in that position where I've been told when, before I got fat, when I used to work out daily, and I was told that my shirts were too tight. I was told that I needed to dress differently.
Who told you this and who made this person right?
My boss told me that. And remember, I was in a high school setting. So, hey, I had to adjust. I had to change how I dressed.
So we code switch for work anyway.
Well, but here's the thing. When I wasn't working out, it was absolutely fine. My daily attire, and I was a mobile teacher. Like I never sat at my desk. So I wanted to be comfortable. And my daily attire were some slacks or like Dickie style pants and a 3-button polo style shirt. It was never
So
an issue.
you tighter with the muscles or the muscles made your shirt tighter?
I think that the muscles made, no, I always wore 2X shirts, but when I started working out, of course I grew
So
and the
you,
muscle made the shirts tighter. But I'm like, are y'all going to buy a new wardrobe for me? Because it was fine before, but it was understood, you
you
know.
see, because your
In
body
any
changes.
organization, in
Comfortable
any
in.
organization, you want to keep good order and discipline, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you start causing provoking thoughts that might cause the lines to be crossed, then that's when SOPs are put in place to prevent this type of stuff. And just like in church, you know, a woman sit on the front pew of the church with a short miniskirt. What happens? Them ushers gonna come with something and cover it up, right? Because that's thought provoking, and the preacher's standing up there looking. He might not want to look, but he gonna look, and it's gonna cause some thought provocation, and it's gonna cause some lines to be crossed, even as a possibility. So that's why it's not your fault, and it might not be fair, but we want to keep good order and discipline in the organization. So you need to dress appropriately based on your body type, I guess.
Ladies, do you
That sounds
agree?
like wear a moo. That sounds like
Well,
wear a moo.
that's what I've been doing my whole career.
It sounds like wear a moo. That's it.
What have you been doing, Miss Jackson?
Dressing for my body type when I step into the office.
And has dressing for your body type ever caused issues?
No, it doesn't cause issue because I basically wear dresses that are flowy, nothing that clings. If I have on pants, I'll have on a jacket that covers my butt, like a blazer that's kind of long. So yeah, I'm always hiding and trying to tuck me when I walk into the office.
How would you describe your body type?
Curvy.
Okay.
Provocative dress
What?
if
My
you dress
body's
a
not
certain way.
provocative. Well, anybody dressed a certain way, you're going to look provocative, but my body's not provocative. I'm curvy though. I have a
Right,
small waist and I have wide hips.
right.
Right. So for me, like I'm the same. Like my hips are wider, my waist is smaller. And so here's a challenge though. A lot of times I can't find certain clothes that will fit me in in a manner that I even find like comfortable to walk around or to feel confident in. So I will wear the leggings or the sundress or, what have you, because it's just easier. Like how often can you go into a store and find a pair of pants that you can get over your hips, but still fits your waist properly? It's, it doesn't really happen all the time.
Yeah, it's getting better, but you got to keep that tailor on speed dial.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you would definitely have to like
Mm.
have like adjusted. But I like if I wear leggings, I'm probably going to wear a shirt that can at least, cover my butt, or at least most of it, if I'm like in office setting or
Yeah,
something like that.
like the work,
But you're still gonna see, like, I can't hide, even if I'm in something flowy, I can't hide my shape. It's gonna show in some way, shape, form, or fashion because I have a big butt. So you're gonna see you're gonna see my butt jiggling. You're gonna see, what I'm saying, my hips swaying. You're gonna see something to let you know that there's more than to meets the eye under this flowy dress.
we need a receipt, Deborah. I don't know what you're talking about. I need to see.
I, well, if I could, you could post pictures of it. I didn't know that.
We need receipts. I can't even picture what you're saying.
I don't know how you not
Looking for the
mention.
colors.
Hold on.
I don't
This
know
is
how.
so this is so ironic because, and this is not by design, ladies. It's completely coincidental that the panelists are all. I can't describe you all.
No, well, I was waiting on the word you was going to use.
I'm not going to use.
Curvaceous.
Yeah,
Racist.
and even the women that are listening in, Dr. Anderson, Liz said, I feel your pain. This is amazing. Oh, Deborah must have been trying to find a picture. Wow. And 2 hours have passed. We've reached the 2 hour mark.
Wow.
So yeah, we're down to our 90-second closing. So I
Post a
would like to
picture
hear,
for the next one.
what'd you say, Deborah?
I said I'll post a picture for y'all on the next one, so that she can see so she can see my pain.
That's a bad sign, Deborah. Obviously the picture that she has, Tamika, must be X-rated.
Hmm.
Why you say that?
It's because she would have popped the picture in there right quick. But
Well,
the
no,
one that she
because
has,
actually I'm in the middle of touching raw chicken, so I don't want to touch my phone.
all right. Yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah, I'm cooking, so I don't want to touch my phone, but like I definitely trust me, I don't have a problem posting a picture. And no,
And
that
Devon and Nikki, they know what goes on with those leggings too.
I don't know.
Nikki just said she puts her leggings on Damon and go out and cut the grass, and then have all these guys blowing the horn and stopping and everything else.
No, I have on long t-shirt, Mr. Damon. No, I mean, I am hippie, so I know what the problem is, and I try to handle it, with care.
So
Why it got to be?
Huh?
Why does it have to be a problem?
I don't handle it
It's
with
no
care. I wear
problem.
what I
They
want to
just
wear.
guys gonna look, just gonna see where females look.
10
I
seconds,
don't.
you all.
I don't handle it with care. Are you gonna get with?
See, Tavana is a whole different breed, so I mean, she let